This is the 2025 GMC Terrain Elevation. Did GMC make the changes you were hoping for? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we've borrowed this all-new Terrain from our friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana, so we can tell you all about the Terrain, the elevation trim level that we have here today, and what the changes are. If you want to know more about this particular model or anything else they have in inventory, check out the link down in the description of the video. So let's take a look at what we have. And right off the bat, you're going to see a whole new front end. And the thing I like here, this is very easy to show off that C shape that we have right here by simply hitting the button and showing you the animated lighting. You're going to see that come on right there. A very nice look. LED headlights, LED daytime running lights. We're going to also have our active air curtains right here. Hopefully you can see through there. I think you can. That's pretty big. That's going to help out with gas mileage. Overall, a squared off look with the front end, meant to bring some consistency to the look of all of these GMC vehicles. We're seeing this happen with other models. We're going to have the chrome with the front end, our red GMC lettering right here, and down here, we actually have active air curtains, or I should say active grille shutters, not air curtains, but active shutters for the lower grille. Overall, a very nice squared off look. And depending on your preference or needs, you can go front wheel drive or you can go all wheel drive. How about your tire and wheel size on this trim level? We're looking at 235 on the width. That's going to be our tread right here, a 55 series sidewall. And these are 19-inch wheels. You're also going to have the matte black finish on your surround for the wheels as well. That's going to work its way ultimately all the way around the vehicle as far as the trim on the lower portions go. And here is your Terrain logo. We work our way up here to the side view mirrors. We're going to have the gloss black mirror caps. They're going to be heated and power adjustable, and you'll also have your blind spot monitoring built in. The only two things missing here: number one, they're manually folding, they're not power folding, and there is no turn signal indicator built in. I am a little bit surprised at that, but that's what we have. Here is your remote. Everything you expect to be there is going to be there. You should be really happy with that, including your remote start. And then we have passive entry on our body colored door handles, only on the front doors. I would like to see that on both doors. If you're not familiar with what that is, it means you can come and lock and unlock all four doors with this button, as long as you have the remote with you. Now, one thing that is not new here will be the crossbars, but as we back up just a little bit, something that is new is the two-tone paint. So you're going to have the body color, the white here, and then the black up top with the roof. Tell me what you think about that. I think that actually works pretty well. It just gives it a whole different look. A little more sporty is probably the best way to put it, but I like it one way or another. And we'll show you more when we get into the interior, but you also have a panoramic sunroof. And listen to that. Did you hear that beep? Did you see what happened right there? That's the Auto Sense tailgate. Again, when you have the remote on your person, that is going to work that way, where you just walk up. Now you have to stand in this position right here for it to open, basically facing it like this. But when you walk by, what you're going to notice is that it's going to start beeping, but that doesn't mean it's automatically going to open. If you keep walking in one direction or the other, the beeps will stop, it won't open, just so you know. And if that's not happening, you can go into your infotainment screen. There's actually a setting there that allows you to turn that on and off depending on your personal preference. If it's not working, then that's the place to obviously go. We'll finish things off here with our redesigned tail lights back here, and kind of mimicking that shape from the front with the headlights up there, bringing some consistency. Going to have a little bit of chrome trim right there. You're going to have the shark fin antenna up top, and then down here on the rear, we're going to have our Terrain logo. This model is going to be all-wheel drive, as evidenced by the logo right there, and then our elevation logo. Now you do have your exhaust pipes back here, but no outlets. I don't think that's such a big deal on this particular model. We do have our sensors here on the rear, also on the front, a lot of great safety features. Did talk about the exhaust being back here, although you don't have the exhaust outlets. let's talk about exactly what is being exhausted as of 2025. And for those of you who are curious about what's under the hood for 2025, well, we're going to show you, and I'm also going to tell you what the numbers are. It's a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder making 175 horsepower, 203 pounds-feet of torque, mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Now, let's go take a look at the window sticker here. I'll give you the MPGs. With that small of a motor, you'd hope they'll be good. Tell me what your thoughts are. We're looking at 24 city, 28 highway, 25 combined, and 4 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And we'll pop open the gas door right there. We're going to have a 14.8 gallon gas tank, and that equates to 384 miles of gas used for the city, and then 414 miles on the highway. And you can tow up to 1,500 pounds with the Terrain if you want to. Now, did you hear the beeps right there? And notice that I kept walking. It didn't do anything. So just so you know, that's how it works. Now, I'm going to stand here this time. We're going to let it open back up, take the easy way to show you the cargo capacity back here, show you what happens with all of that. So we have one seat down, one seat up, but we have a minimum of 29.6 cubic feet worth of cargo space up to 63.5. And I know if I don't put this seat down, somebody's going to complain that I didn't. So there you go. There's how everything looks when your cargo space is maximized. Plenty of room in there, that's for sure. And in case you're curious, you can easily get this floor out of the way, and like that. We'll get that completely out of the way, because if you need to gain access to your spare tire, that makes it a whole lot easier. One of those things that definitely brings peace of mind for everybody, knowing that you have a spare tire here. We do have some nice LED lighting here in the rear as far as your cargo area goes. Quite a bit of space, but the main thing I know a lot of you want to know about is the interior. Let's hop inside and we'll talk about the back seat. And here's a Scooby snack for those of you who have been patient and made it to this point in the video. If you're wondering how much bigger is this new generation of the Terrain, about 2 inches wider and about 1 inch taller. So not massively different, but for those who wanted to know, now you know. And I told you there's a panoramic sunroof here earlier in the video. There's the proof. You do have the power shade right here that can be drawn back and forth as needed, and that front portion will open up. How about the door panels here? Let's see what we have. Nice large armrests, plenty of room there. I always like that completely flat armrest, no angle at the front, just makes it more comfortable. And the door bins, plenty of room there as well. Nice and large, can store a large bottle in there or whatever else needs to fit. And as far as the interior here goes, the door openings are nice and wide, easy to get in and out of. Now these seats have some recline built into them, but you cannot adjust that. This is it. But the good thing, at least they're not sitting at a 90-degree angle. We're going to have the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. I do wish that GMC had done what some other automakers are doing. Instead of having the parallel cup holders here, they should be vertical this way. That way it's always able to be used as an armrest, whether it's being used as a cup holder or not. We're going to have the oh crap handles, not that anyone's going to say oh crap when you drop the hammer on the 4-cylinder engine under the hood, but it is there. I might as well tell you about it. We're going to have rear seat pockets on the back of each seat, and we're going to also have our buttons for our heated seats back here, and also the air conditioning vents. Also going to have a couple of USB ports down here. I do want to make sure I point that out. I would like to see 3 USB ports when you have seating for 3 people, but maybe that's just automakers having research that says there's normally only 2 people in the back seat. And for 2025, if you go elevation, based on how this model is spec'd out, what do you expect to pay? $39,075. If you need that extra $5 to get over the hump, I'll give it to you if you come into the dealership. Let's see what else you get for the price. We'll start over here on the passenger side door panel. Plenty of room with the armrest and a little bit larger door bin right there. So a lot going on where that's concerned. Plenty of room, a lot of nice little storage spaces. I like the lack of gloss black here. A lot of people don't like that piano black or gloss black finish. We're going to have a silver finish instead, so that actually works out well. Doesn't fingerprint up. I like that. And as we work our way over, you're going to find plenty of room within the glove box. Still waiting to find a pair of gloves in the glove box. I never do find that, but that's the case. And we'll start right here with the upper console too. We're going to have our sunglass holder right there. And then we're going to have the control right here for opening and closing the shade and all that good stuff up there, that power shade I told you about earlier. I don't think there's any surprises here, but the one thing that's very interesting to me, you don't see very often, this is more common in GMC vehicles now, is there is your hazard light button. It's not down on the lower portion of the dash the way we're used to seeing it. And let me grab the camera here just to make things a little bit easier. On the driver's side, we do have seat memory. Seems like we should have that on both sides, but we don't. If you want to turn the power parking brake on, use that or not, that's right here. Here is auto stop start, and you do have multiple driving modes. Let's go through those multiple driving modes and show you what we have. We have normal, we're going to have off-road, we're also going to have our snow and ice. So with all-wheel drive, that's going to be very useful, really the best thing to have, although you can make it with front-wheel drive in some situations, but all-wheel drive is always better. All of your controls for your power mirrors right here, and as I mentioned earlier, you do not have the power folding functionality, so that button's not going to be here. Everything for your power windows will be there as well. And we'll take a quick look at the steering wheel. Definitely a different look for 2025, but not a major difference, I wouldn't say, but pretty easy to figure out what's here. I probably don't need to tell you everything, for your adaptive cruise control is right there, and you know what's over here, I would imagine. And believe it or not, across all trim levels of the Terrain for 2025, you have turn signals. That's right, the turn signal option is here. You don't have to option that in, so for those of you that use your blinkers, you have that here, no big deal. Front and rear window wiper controls right here, and the button for cleaning your windshield off, running your windshield washer fluid. Yes, I just kind of snuck that funny stuff in there because I like to do that, and I'm sarcastic towards bad drivers. If you watch me regularly, you know that. Right here, our shifter. Don't need to tell you too much about what's going on right there. The 11-inch instrument cluster, I like the clean look. It's nice and modern looking, digital, but you do have your digital speedometer in the middle, and around that is going to be your analog tachometer. So you can make some changes there as well. We're not going to go through a lot of that right now, but if you wanted to, you could do some things where that's concerned. Also, you have shifter paddles here, and on the rear of the steering wheel, let's see if I can get back here and show you. We're going to have the volume controls right there, and on the other side, we're going to have everything for managing what you're listening to. Now, let's talk about our 15-inch touchscreen. They keep getting bigger and bigger, don't they? What do you think about the size here? Wirelessly pairing your smartphone, nice to have that. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that are going to be here, and you have Google Assistant, so you can say, hey, yeah, I probably scared some of you right there. I was about to set devices off in your house, right? But I think you know how to use that, so we won't go into that. You've got the Play Store, My GMC, and how about camera? We only have one camera view here, but you know what? At least you have it. That's something you don't have to option in. Every vehicle, really as of 2020 in the United States, was required to have a backup camera or a rear view camera. And we'll just go through some of the other things that are here. You do have built-in Google Maps if you want to use that. And then you have controls right here. That's also right down here. And what exactly is that? Well, you can see what all is on the screen right there as far as your dome light, your power window lockout if you want to use that. You can see what all is there. I'm not going to cover all of that. And then right down here is how you go in and manage your headlights. You can turn them on. Let's keep that on the screen there. Turn them on if you want to. There you go. Cooperate with me. Turn everything on. Have it on auto or have it on off. We can also see more controls just to show you what all is here. Now, we don't have ambient lighting in this particular model. So in case you were curious about that, no, that's not here. But one thing I do want to do is go into settings and show you a few things that are here. Quite a few things to change, to look at. If you need to manage your connections, you can do that. Notification, apps, date and time, you can reset things there if you want to, and then everything else here. I'm not going to cover that in great detail, but what I do want to cover in a little more detail are your vehicle settings. So there are your audio settings. You do have teen driver mode. If you want to turn buckle to drive on and off, you can do that. Do use your seatbelt when you drive. But when you're driving around in a parking lot, like what we're doing right now with the video, changing positions for different filming angles, we can turn that off and it just makes things a little bit easier. But I do recommend leaving that on or having your seatbelt on when you drive. Rear seat reminder is there too. I don't think that's really necessary, but it is there, unfortunately. Sometimes people do need that. You would think that wouldn't be the case. How about climate and air quality? There's what you have as far as your auto fan speed goes, your heated and ventilated seats, cooled and ventilated seats, I should say. And you can turn that on where it comes on automatically with either cooled or heated. So that's nice to have. The vehicle will actually sense what the temperature is outside and it will take care of that for you. Also, you can do the same thing with your auto rear defogger. Now let's go back here because I know there's one thing a lot of you like to know about, and that is what we have right here, our driving aids. So you're going to have forward collision avoidance, front pedestrian braking, intersection collision braking, adaptive cruise go notifier, side bicyclist alert, lane change alert, park assist with braking, and rear cross traffic braking. A lot going on there to deal with, but easy to deal with too. Don't let that scare you off. It's not complicated. I like it. Down here, everything for your air conditioning. Now the good news is that you do still have physical controls as far as your air goes. So I can adjust the temperature, I can adjust the fan speed, and then to work with your heated and ventilated seats, here's what we do. You can turn that on. You have 3 stages for each. Now that is going to be controlled on the screen itself. Just one of those things. There's your control for your radio. You can adjust the volume or you can mute that. And then we have a little bit of storage space right here. And you might say, oh no wireless charging pad? Actually, that's not the case. It's just in a different position right back here in front of the center console. So let me put my phone in there. Let's move back to that. And there we go. There is where your wireless charging pad is located. Hopefully it will turn on. Come on, cooperate with me. But one way or another, you can probably see that is your wireless charging pad. I don't know why my phone's not coming on, but there we go. And your cup holders are going to be right there. And then we'll have our center console, kind of a multitasker because the lid is also the armrest for the driver and the passenger. We're going to look inside there real fast. Now this section is removable if you want to use that or just take it out. You can do whatever you want to as far as that goes. Plenty of room within that area. And you also have power adjustable seats for the driver and the passenger. And in case you didn't see it earlier, I don't know if the angle provided for it, we do have a couple of USB options right here. All right, let's get out on the road for a quick test drive and see what happens. Now, you're not buying the Terrain expecting neck-snapping performance. So don't be surprised if you hop in one and it doesn't just fly down the road. But I'm easing into the pedal and it's getting up to speed just fine. I don't think it's going to be an issue for people who are wanting something like this because they're not looking for a ridiculous amount of performance. It's funny to see what people have to say sometimes about the horsepower numbers on these vehicles. I am curious, what do you think the horsepower rating should be if you think this Terrain doesn't have enough? Now, I do like the ride quality, very comfortable. I don't think anyone is going to complain about that. The steering is nice and responsive. It seems very easy to maneuver around. While this isn't obviously a full-size SUV, I don't think it should come as a surprise that it's a very nimble vehicle. Handles the corners decently. You do have some body roll, but again, that's going to come really because you have a comfortable ride quality. A lot of the time you'll have one or the other, either a good comfortable ride quality or you're going to have great handling, but you sacrifice ride quality as of a result of that being an issue. I have a lot of room here, so somebody who is well over 6 feet tall, I'm asked that question a lot, will be very comfortable here. I also was asked the question recently about having somebody who is maybe 5 feet tall. I did actually get that comment in a video as to how that person would fit. These seats do raise and lower, the driver and the passenger seats, so I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. You can also adjust the steering wheel. It's tilt and telescopically adjustable. It is manually adjustable, but at this price point, I don't think anybody is going to be surprised at that. That release is under the steering column, on the bottom of the steering column, to make that happen. You also have a heated steering wheel. Quite a few nice features here for not being the top trim level. And all of the technology is very easy to learn and use. Although it has a different look to it, it's just as easy as it's always been. There is a lot here to learn, but that doesn't mean that it's difficult to learn. Easy to see out of, I like that. Overall, I think GMC did a really nice job here. I am interested to get my hands on a higher trim level and see what additional features we can tell you about. All right, tell me what you think about the fully redesigned 2025 GMC Terrain. Did GMC make the changes you were hoping for? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. Tell me what is not here maybe you were hoping for. And obviously some of that may be dependent on trim level. We'll bring more trim levels to you as they become available at the dealership. I do want to say a special thanks to our friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC for loaning us this Terrain for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to us. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you'd like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.